Hi, hello. It's Saturday morning. It's going to rain again. Big black cloud looming. So I'm going to take myself off to the studio and I'm going to have a go at making one of Stuart Hillard's quilts from his new book, Simple Shapes, Stunning Quilts. So, do you want to come with me? Yeah? Come on then. Right, so I'm in the studio. I've got all the bits and pieces I need to start sewing. Most essentially, I've got my cup of tea. I've got my machine all set up and ready to go, and I've got all the fabrics to one side ready to be pressed and prepped, ready for cutting. So let me show you what I'm going to make. So this is the quilt I'm going to have a go at making today. It's called Woven Number 1 and it comes from Stuart Hillard's new book, Simple Shapes, Stunning Quilts. I'm going to make it in the colour palette that Stuart has chosen for his virtual quilt, which is greys, pale greys, limey greens and purples. Right, so after a mammoth sewing session, all of the patchwork is put together. And I haven't sewn the rows yet, but all of the individual squares are connected to each other. And the quilt basically is laid out as a quilt. So let me show you. Here she is. She's on the design wall. I've used a couple of pins at the top to stop her from falling off because she's quite heavy. But you can see the layout of the quilt, and I can tell from this that the colours look like they're in the right place. So I'm pretty pleased with that. There's Stuart's virtual quilt. And here's my version in the flesh. So, just the rows to put together. I'll be back. And here we are, here's the finished quilt on the design wall. All finished and ready for quilting. Really enjoyed making this. Had a fairly full-on day making it, but it is possible to make it in a day. And I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me to make it. So this is Woven Number 1 from Stuart Hillard's book, Simple Shapes, Stunning Quilts. So there's a quilt I made on the design wall. And here is the virtual quilt which Stuart has in his book. Really enjoyed making this. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments down below. Bye for now.
Right, it's a sort of a cloudy, sunny type of morning here in Wiltshire today. It does feel like we've gone straight through summer, straight into autumn somehow. There's a very sort of autumnal feel to the place. But anyway, so Tracy has already done her quilt from Stuart Hillard's book, and today it's my turn. This is the quilt that I'm going to make. I'll put a picture up. I'm not going to try and recreate the same sort of colour palette that Stuart used for his, and instead I'm going to use this range of fabric that I bought when I was out in the States earlier this year. So I'm doing very well to be using this the same year that I've bought it, so I hope you're impressed. I am. This is arranged by Same Sheet. This is the blue that's going to run between them all. So that's my plan. So I'm going to take these over to the iron board and I'm going to give them a quick iron, get all the creases out, and then I'm going to start cutting. First, however, I'm going to have a quick slurp of my coffee and I'm going to start this as I mean to go on. A small problem, we have a small issue in that I bought these in the States, didn't I? So I bought fat quarters, but of course they work in yards, and so their fat quarters are smaller than our fat quarters, and therefore I'm not sure that I'm going to get, no I'm not, so might have to hang on, let's see, can we do it that way? No, we're not. So I think I might have to have a little adjustment. So we might have to do a little bit of figuring out, and then I'll be back. Watch this space. Okay, I think we're going to be okay. It's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. But I think woman of my calibre, I think I can do it. I think. Oh, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? So, back to the ironing. Okay, so I've got the 9 patches done, all sewn together, and now it's time to start putting all the rows together. It's, what is it, it's about 3:15. I started about, must have been about 10:15 this morning, and I've just sort of worked at it fairly steady. I'm not convinced I'm happy with my placement, but okay, it's about 5:20 and I am just about to do the last seam. So let's get this going. That is just so typical. Last seam, I've run out of bobbin thread. That's it, finished. Last one, done. Okay, so that's it. There it is. I'll try and get some better pictures of it maybe. Well, I'm pleased with it. I like it. It's a bit out of my comfort zone, I think, colour wise. But yeah, I think think it looks nice. I'm pleased.